All right, let's dive in. We're tackling technical sales rep interviews, specifically in that hardware, plumbing, and heating equipment world.
Definitely a niche, but high demand.
High demand, and I think it's fascinating, right?
Yeah.
You need that technical side, but you got to be a sales pro too.
It's that combo that's tricky to find, but luckily, we've got some resources to help us prep.
We do. A career guide to get the lay of the land, the job itself, and an interview guide with actual sample questions.
No fluff, straight to the point.
Exactly. So, should we just jump right into those interview questions?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay, fire away. First one. Can you explain your experience in selling hardware, plumbing, and heating equipment? Sounds pretty straightforward. But what's the interviewer really looking for here?
Well, they want to see that sweet spot, right? Where your experience matches up with what they need. Even if you haven't sold these exact products, think about transferable skills.
So even if I sold, like, software before,
Exactly. You were still explaining technical stuff to customers, staying up to date on trends.
translating that jargon.
Yes. And stories stick. Don't just list duties. Give an example. A time you used your knowledge to help a customer.
Okay, so story time. What kind of follow-ups might they ask after that?
Oh, they'll dig deeper. Be ready for those tell me about a time questions, like a challenging sale or your biggest win.
Prove you can walk the walk.
Exactly.
All right, next question. How do you approach building and maintaining relationships with clients? Feels like they're testing our people skills.
Big time. This industry is all about trust. These are big purchases, complex systems. Customers need to feel confident in you.
So how do we nail this answer? What's the magic formula for relationship building?
Emphasize communication. Are you a good listener? Can you explain things clearly? Do you go the extra mile for
And
clients?
follow-up is huge too, right? No one wants to be forgotten after a big purchase.
Absolutely. The career guide talks about lasting relationships, mentions strategies for staying in touch.
I bet they have some tell me about a time follow-ups here too. A time you went above and beyond. Or handled a tricky customer.
For sure. Think of those questions as a chance to showcase your people skills and how you handle pressure.
Oh. You know what's great for practicing those answers? RoleCatcher. They've got that AI feature that analyzes your responses.
Gives you feedback.
Yeah. It's like a virtual coach. Helps you hit those key points.
Definitely a useful tool to refine your answers.
Speaking of key points, let's hit question 3. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and product knowledge? This one screams continuous learning, right?
It does. They want to see that you're genuinely passionate about staying ahead. Don't just list publications, mention areas within hardware, plumbing, heating, whatever, that you're excited to learn more about.
So not just informed, but truly interested.
Exactly. And don't forget those networking opportunities. Going to events, meeting experts, that shows initiative. Which, by the way, the career guide highlights as a big plus.
Ooh, nice tie-in. What kind of follow-ups could we get with this one?
They might ask about a specific technology or a new product you're following. It's your chance to show off a bit.
Time to geek out. All right, next up. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a technical issue with a customer? Classic, tell me about a time.
This is about problem solving under pressure. Pick a story that shows you can think critically. Stay calm when things get tricky.
Keep your cool when the metaphorical pipes are bursting.
Exactly. Explain the problem, the steps you took, and that positive outcome.
What about follow-ups? Will they get technical?
Oh, definitely. Be ready to talk specifics, the tools you used, the technical specs, the lessons learned.
Okay, time to put on our technical hats. Next one is all about money. Question 5. How do you approach negotiating contracts and pricing with clients? Time to channel our inner deal maker.
Negotiation's a two-way street. It's about finding a solution that works for everyone. Highlight your research, articulate that value proposition.
So justify that price tag. Show that return on investment.
Right. And be ready for questions on contract terms, discounts, payment options. They want to see that you're comfortable with the business side.
Okay, here comes a follow-up. Tell me about a time you had to negotiate a particularly challenging contract. What kind of story were you pulling out for this one?
Pick a situation where you navigated a complex deal, overcame objections, got that win-win. And remember, the career guide mentions high earning potential. This is a subtle way to remind them you a valuable asset.
Strategic. Okay, question 6. It's about teamwork. Can you describe a time when you had to work collaboratively with a team to achieve a common goal? Team player vibes.
Big time. Choose a story that shows your communication skills, how you collaborate, and solve problems together.
So it's not about being the hero, it's about contributing to a shared success.
Exactly. Focus on the team's achievement. Use we, not I.
We did it. Love it. What about follow-ups here?
Oh, they might ask about conflict resolution, how you handle differing opinions. It's all about showing that you're flexible.
Can find that common ground. Okay, on to question 7. How do you approach identifying and qualifying new leads for potential sales? Prospecting time.
They're looking for strategy, not just luck. Did you research industry trends to find potential markets? Do you have criteria for qualifying leads, like budget or decision-making power?
So finding the right leads, the ones most likely to become paying customers.
Exactly. Think about how you assess their needs. Budget, decision-making authority.
Ooh, and be ready to discuss your sales funnel. And conversion rates, right?
Absolutely. Show them you can turn leads into closed deals.
Speaking of prepping, don't forget, folks, RoleCatcher has over 120,000 practice questions, plus AI feedback to fine-tune your delivery.
It really is a secret weapon.
It is. Okay, back to it. Question 8. Can you describe a time when you had to meet or exceed sales targets in a challenging environment? This is all about resilience.
Absolutely. Choose a story that shows your grit. Did you face a tough target, a difficult market? Tell them how you adapted and persevered.
So not just achieving the goal, but how you handled the pressure.
Right. Focus on the actions you took. Quantify your results. Did you exceed your target by a certain percentage?
Ooh, I like it. What kind of follow-ups are we expecting here?
They might ask about staying motivated, staying productive under pressure. It's about showing you can handle the heat.
All right, feeling inspired. On to question 9. Can you explain your experience in conducting product demonstrations and training sessions for clients? Presentation skills time.
It's your time to shine as a communicator. Highlight your ability to adapt to different audiences, technical folks, decision makers who aren't so technical.
Being a bit of a chameleon.
Exactly. And even if you don't have direct experience, think about transferable skills. Have you given presentations before?
Oh, I bet a follow-up is, give us an impromptu presentation on one of our products.
You got it. Be ready to think on your feet and engage the audience. Don't forget, RoleCatcher can help you practice those video presentation skills.
Awesome. Okay, last question, number 10. How do you approach handling customer complaints and resolving issues to their satisfaction? Customer service time.
Show those empathy muscles, active listening, and professionalism even when things get tough.
It's not about avoiding conflict. It's about handling it gracefully, finding that resolution.
Right. Show them you can acknowledge frustration, listen without interrupting, and offer solutions.
What kind of follow-ups here?
Oh, maybe a particularly challenging customer you've dealt with, or how you escalate things to management. It's about showing good judgment.
Phew. 10 tough questions down. Feels like we just ran a marathon.
A marathon of knowledge. But we're not done. We've got to delve into those career insights from the career guide to see the bigger picture of this role.
Because acing the interview is just the first step, right? We want to make sure this whole career path aligns with your goals.
Exactly. It's not just the job, it's the whole career journey. So imagine you nail the interview, you get the job. Where does this whole thing go? The career guide breaks down the typical career path into 3 stages: entry-level, junior, and senior.
No, I like it. Stages. Like leveling up. What's that entry-level stage like? Starting out.
It's like an apprenticeship. You're shadowing the pros, maybe assisting with demos, providing basic tech info. It's all about building that base.
Soaking it all up. Like a sponge. What kind of person thrives at that stage?
The guide says, ideally, you're proactive, results-driven, with a strong passion for the industry.
Ooh, good keywords to keep in mind for the interview. So it's not just technical skills.
Right. It's that eagerness to learn, to prove yourself.
Got it. Okay, so you level up. You're junior now. What changes?
Now you're flying solo a bit more, handling your own sales, building that client base, maybe even negotiating contracts.
Exciting. So what becomes really important at this level?
They want to see a proven track record, a strong technical background, and of course, those communication and negotiation skills have to be sharp.
Gotcha. You've got to prove you can handle it. Before they give you more responsibility, what about reaching the top? Senior level, what's that like?
Ah, now you're the mentor. You've got those key accounts, you're handling the toughest problems, maybe even mentoring those junior reps coming up.
The guru.
Pretty much. The guide says at this level, it's extensive experience, exceptional technical knowledge, and strong leadership, mentoring skills.
So it's not just sales anymore. It's about guiding others.
Exactly. And even if you're not applying for a senior role right now, showcasing those leadership qualities can make you stand out. at any level.
Ooh, good point. So think back to times you've taken initiative, mentored others, even in jobs outside of this industry.
Right. It all counts. Okay, let's get real for a second. The career guide doesn't sugarcoat things. This job can be tough. Long hours, demanding customers,
Yeah.
pressure to perform.
Right. High rewards, but high expectations too. How do we address that in the interview? That pressure cooker environment.
Be honest. Don't pretend you love chaos. Instead, highlight how you cope. Time management skills, staying organized, staying positive.
Show them you can handle the heat.
Exactly. And this ties into something the career guide mentions, work-life balance. It's implied, not stated outright. But even in a demanding job, you got to take care of yourself.
Totally agree. No job is worth burning out over. How do we bring this up in the interview without raising red flags?
Frame it as being committed to productivity and sustainability. Say you believe in working efficiently, but you also understand the importance of recharging.
Clever. So you're that strategic worker who values both effectiveness and well-being.
Exactly. Now, another key theme from the career guide, continuous learning. This industry is always changing, so showing that you're committed to keeping up is huge.
We talked about publications, events. What else? How else can we show that learning mindset?
Let that passion come through. Talk about what really interests you. Specific areas within hardware, plumbing, heating. Have you taken online courses, read books or blogs? Show them you're hungry to learn.
It's about going beyond the basics, showing that intellectual curiosity. But learning takes time. How do we balance that with a demanding job?
Time management is key. The guide doesn't say it directly, but it's there. Between the lines, show them you've got those skills.
Don't just say it, give examples.
Right. Talk about prioritizing, deadlines, staying organized, maybe mention specific tools or techniques.
Love it. Specifics are key. Show, don't tell.
Exactly. And highlight how you fit learning into your routine. Do you carve out time for industry news? Podcasts.
Okay, feeling organized already. The career guide also talks about networking opportunities. It's not just what you know, but who you know.
Oh, especially in sales. Relationships are everything, and in this industry, there are so many ways to connect.
So should we just list events we've been to?
Go deeper. Talk about the connections you've made, the insights you've gained, mentors, role models, trends you've learned about. Show them the impact.
So it's not just showing up. It's about what you get out of networking.
Exactly. And don't forget online networking. LinkedIn is gold for this industry.
Time for a LinkedIn makeover. What else should we be doing on there?
Think of it as your professional highlight reel. Share articles. Engage in discussions, join groups, be a thought leader, not just a job seeker.
Show them you're adding to the conversation.
Yes. Now remember that work-life balance thing? The guide mentions long hours. How do we address that without sounding like we're already checked out?
Right. Don't want to give off the wrong vibe.
It's about framing it the right way. Say you're willing to put in the work, but also subtly ask about their company culture, their expectations.
So it's a two-way street. We're checking them out too.
Exactly. You want a company that values both hard work and well-being.
Balance is key. Okay, before we get too zen, let's talk money, salary. The guide mentions high earning potential. But how do we handle this in the interview?
It's a dance. Let them lead. They'll usually bring it up first.
Play it cool. Wait for the money question.
Exactly. But be ready with a range. Do your research. Sites like Glassdoor, salary.com.
Know your worth.
Yes. And if they push for a number, justify it. Your skills, experience, the value you bring.
Okay, feeling empowered to negotiate. But before we celebrate, one little detail from the guide. Alternative job titles. They make it sound like there are tons of different names for this role.
There are. The guide lists sales engineer, technical sales specialist, technical account manager, even technical sales consultant.
It's like job title bingo.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure we're not missing out on opportunities just because the wording's different?
Focus on the description, the responsibilities, the skills, not just the title.
So it's about finding the right fit,
Right.
whatever they call it.
All right. Okay, let's take a minute to appreciate all this info. This career guide is packed.
It's like a treasure map to success. And speaking of maps, we can't forget about RoleCatcher and all those AI tools.
From your resume to practicing answers, even video presentations, it really is the ultimate companion.
It is. Okay, feeling prepped and polished. But hold on, there's one more section in the career guide. Those FAQs, frequently asked questions.
Oh yeah, those are good. Sometimes those FAQs have the best nuggets of wisdom. Let's see what's in there.
All right, FAQ time. Let's see what we've got. First one. What does a technical sales representative in hardware, plumbing, and heating equipment do? Pretty basic. Anything new here?
It's hitting that core again, that providing technical insight piece. You're not just selling, you're solving problems.
Right, being that expert, bridging the gap.
Exactly.
Okay, next. What are the primary responsibilities of the role? Familiar territory, but any nuances to watch out for?
They list a bunch, but one jumps out. Keeping up to date with industry trends and advancements, that continuous learning thing again.
Got to stay ahead of the game.
Right. Show them you're on top of it.
Okay, the big one. What skills and qualifications are necessary for a technical sales representative in hardware, plumbing, and heating equipment? This is like our checklist.
It is, and it's a good mix. Technical expertise and people skills, they want someone who gets the tech stuff, but can also communicate, build those relationships.
So let's break it down. Technical side first. Strong technical knowledge. We've talked about learning, but what else can we do to show that in the interview?
Be specific. Mention products or technologies you know well, certifications, training, and don't be afraid to let that passion show.
Enthusiasm is key. Now, the people side. Excellent communication and interpersonal skills. How do we go beyond just saying that?
Examples. Have you explained something technical to someone who's not? Resolved a conflict, persuaded a client, and remember, listening matters too.
It's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
What about sales and negotiation skills? How do we stand out here?
Talk about your process, how you identify needs, present solutions, handle objections, mention methodologies you know, and that collaborative approach to negotiating. Win-win.
Building those relationships, long-term. Okay, what about these last few? Customer-oriented approach, self-motivated and target-driven. These seem pretty standard.
They are, but bring them to life. Talk about going above and beyond, exceeding expectations. Show them you're driven, but also care about those customers.
Not just chasing the sale.
Right.
All right, then we've got some practical skills. Organization, time management, software. How do we make those stand out?
Details. Don't just say you're organized. What systems do you use? Tools. CRM experience. And those little things matter too. Being on time. Thank you notes.
Showing that professionalism.
Yes.
Okay, on to the question we all want to know. What are the typical working hours? They say generally full-time, Monday to Friday, but then they mention occasional evening or weekend work, reading between the lines.
It means flexibility is key. Be ready for those long hours sometimes.
So how do we address that without sounding like we're afraid of hard work?
Say you're willing to go the extra mile, but also maybe ask about their company culture, work-life balance.
Good point. It's about finding the right fit.
Exactly.
What is the career outlook? This one's more fun. They say steady growth and continuous demand. How do we use that to our advantage?
Tie your goals to the industry's growth. Show them you're excited to be part of it, that your skills match what they need.
Not just a job, a career.
Right.
Last FAQ is about those alternate job titles again. Anything else to add here?
Just remember, focus on what the job is, not just the name. Keep your options open.
Good advice. Okay, FAQ section conquered. Feeling pretty knowledgeable.
We covered a lot. Responsibilities, skills, career outlook, those interview questions.
And don't forget, folks, RoleCatcher has your back. All those AI tools to help you prep, resume answers, video practice. It's like a secret weapon.
It is. Get out there and ace those interviews.
That's right. Best of luck to everyone on their job hunt. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive.